All right, hello everyone. I changed the setup a little bit, so we're going to try this for a little while and see how it goes, see what people like or what they don't like. Welcome. Happy New Year. I guess it's going to be a little bit late by the time this probably gets posted, but I hope that everyone had good holidays and everything went good for them. So sorry. So I hope everyone had a really good holiday. Same setup as before. So we're going to start with a really quick prayer, and then we're going to get right into it. I'm just going to use my hands again, just to be sure. Right. Prayer. Okay. Immediately I got Gemini. Not that deck. Immediately I got Gemini, and immediately I got about betrayals. Okay, something about Gemini's struggling with betrayals, having betrayals. No, like family. Interesting. Knight of Cups reversed. Whoa. Okay, we're just gonna take him. Magician reversed. The Three of Swords reversed. The Five of Wands reversed. Or sorry, upright. The Three of Swords upright. The Five of Wands upright. I want to start off with this message that I was getting as I was shuffling, and that is that you are far more powerful than you think you are. This collective, you are far more powerful than you think you are. You have what you need, okay? You have what it is that you need to succeed. You just need to apply it. You just need to have the patience to apply it. You just need to have the patience to follow through with your plans, and everything will come to fruition, okay? I'm getting that there's a lot of manipulation here. I'm getting that there's, like I said, the sense of betrayal. There's this sense and this feeling of things aren't going, relationships are not the way that you would like them to be, because other people haven't healed their shit. Other people haven't healed their shit at the end of it all. And so there's a message here of understanding that what they think of you and the betrayal and the crap they're saying about you is coming from a place of hurt. It's coming from a place of lack of movement. Okay, the Chariot coming up reversed here. Okay, of internal demons, of jealousy. And this collective this year, you're going to need to really make sure that you are not letting that get to you. Okay, you need to make sure that you're not letting that get in your way. You need to make sure that you're not actually, you need to make sure that you're not actually holding on to that as much as you should be. A lot of you have had a lot of heartbreak. Okay, this collective, you're really struggling with love. You're struggling with the concept of universal love. You're struggling with what's going on in terms of how you receive and perceive love, how you receive and perceive love within relationships, because this collective, you have a tendency to over, what's the word I'm looking for? You give too much, right? You're too giving and you're not receiving an equal amount in relationships of what you give. And this is leaving you feeling like really depressed, really out of it. As you progress, okay, this is going to change. Okay, I'm hearing very, very clearly that this collective is working on projects. You're working on yourself. You might have started some sort of new type of project, some sort of new business idea or business opportunity, as you are doing that, you're going to find out that it honestly just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they think of you. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It doesn't matter this manipulation game they're playing. This card here is really making me think of the game of chess, but it's reversed. So it's not a game of chess of like you're making the next move. Okay, it's not like, oh, I'm going to make, there's an equal play. It's someone's trying to manipulate and change the game. Okay, that's what I'm getting from the imagery in this card, is someone's trying to manipulate and change the game and change how you are perceived, change how you do things, change what it is that you think your perceptions of yourself, because they have issues with themselves, because they haven't figured out communication within themselves. There's a sense of, there's this feeling like there's this chess game you're playing with one or two or potentially more people. And it kind of feels like, especially because you've got the Magician coming up, also reversed after, it kind of feels like you don't really know how to play the game. And it's not that you don't know how to play the game, it's that the game isn't proper chess. It's not a proper chess game, okay? It's not a game of equality. And this collective, you have morals, you have ethics, you've got things that you believe in, things that you follow. The people that play and try to manipulate situations around you, those people do not have morals and ethics. They do not follow the same rules that you follow. They are not doing the same things that you're doing. And so you're feeling like, oh, I don't know what to do in these various situations. I don't know how to manage this. I'm not really sure what's going on. And it's not that you don't know what to do. And it's not that you don't have the power. It's that you're not on the same playing field. And this collective, you just haven't quite fully realized that yet. You haven't fully stepped into your potential yet. And I feel like in the next 2 months, you're probably going to have this a little bit of back and forth. And then come probably, I want to say March, like end of February, early March, you're going to have this almost like, as we're entering into spring towards the end of March, you're going to notice that there's this shift in energy. And as that shift and change in energy occurs, you're going to be stepping more fully into your potential. Things are going to start moving really quickly. You're going to find that these relationships, you're not affected the way you are currently, and perhaps have been for a number of years now. You're not going to be affected by this manipulative game, because you're above the game. Okay? And there's this realization of you're going to come above the game, and you're going to have this celebration. The Four of Wands, which always talks about like celebration and happiness and things to look forward to, but this is going to be more internal. I'm not feeling that this is something that you're going to be like sharing with other people. It's going to be something where you're going to notice it internally, and you're going to go, oh yeah, actually hold on here, I don't need to pay attention to this because I'm better than them. You need to understand, do you want the life of this person who's doing this? This is what this collective needs to ask themselves on a consistent basis when they're starting to get caught up in this energy that's not even their own energy. If you could trade places with this person, would you want to do the things this person does? Would you want to have their life, have their partner, have their job, live where they live? If the answer is no to any of those things, you shouldn't pay attention to them. And I know that's really easier said than done, but there's a huge message here of this kind of just hitting you. Like, I'm kind of seeing it like a basketball, like literally like bouncing off the ground and like smacking you in the head. And it's like, it just hits you that, why do I even care? Let them think that I am, a liar. Let them think that, I'm a gaslighter. Let them think, that I'm crazy. Let them think that this is all woo-woo. Let them think that I don't do anything. I'm going to show them, step into this really powerful energy, this really powerful state, this really powerful place, and stepping fully into that. But it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be like a quiet transition. You're not going to be You're not going to be announcing this. It's not going to be some big, huge, like, oh, we got to celebrate. You know, it's going to be this quiet transition where you're not going to tell anyone really. And you're just going to be there and you're just going to go, okay, yeah, I've had enough. Enough's enough. I'm not doing this. All's well that ends well. Right? All's well that ends well. They're telling me to pick up another deck, but they're not really showing me which deck they want. They're not being very clear. And I kind of feel like this is also the energy of like, this collective is not very clear right now. They're not very clear in like what it is they want to do or where it is they want to go or things they want to potentially create. There's just like a lack of clarity and like a little bit of fogginess right now. And that's going to go away. That's going to go away. Okay. Let's do, actually, they're not showing me this deck, but I'm going to try and use it. Usually when it comes to decks, I let Spirit be the ones to say this is the deck you're going to use, but we're going to try this deck here. I haven't used this deck in many readings, but I feel like there might be something in here. Chamber of Surrender. That's pretty fitting. The Chamber of Surrender. Letting go. Just being you. Just do you. Stop fucking around with this person or people or energies that is trying to manipulate other people's perceptions of you because they think that they have some secret knowledge when they just haven't dealt with their shit. Surrender to yourself, surrender to your practice, surrender to what it is you do, and just be you. Because the people, honestly, that matter, that you need to know, those people that actually are important, that you're going to need to pay attention to, they're not going to be affected by the shit that this person is saying. And I'm sorry, by the way, if this person is like a family member. For some of you, this is going to be a family member or family members. This might even be parents for some of you, or siblings of some sort. But this person here has a lot of unchecked shit. They have a lot of crap that they haven't dealt with. Okay? And honestly, it doesn't affect you. They're using you as the scapegoat for their own inability to manage and regulate themselves. Because this person here knows that you're far more healed than they are. And a part of them is jealous of that. Part of them is jealous that you're far more healed than they are. You've done the work. You've done the work. You've done the things. You've done the things that, yeah, the masks we wear. In the Chamber of Power. Perfect. And bottom of the deck, they're saying the seen and the unseen. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You're not wearing a mask. That's the problem. I'm not saying that's the problem, but that's the perceived problem that's coming forth because of this energy here of this person, because they don't know how to live without a mask and you don't wear one. Okay, when you say you don't know something, you don't know it. When you have a question, you're genuine with your questions. You're genuine with what you say. You're genuine with what you do. You might be a bit disfocused sometimes, as we all are, but that's literally about it. But you don't have a lot of masks. This is really about stepping into who you are, saying the shit that you want to say, and letting bygones be bygones, right? And you've got the Chamber of Power right afterwards, okay? This alignment of energy. When you surrender, okay, when you're done in the Chamber of Surrender, you're able to move and you will remove this mask. And this is a natural progression. And as these masks get removed, and it's not just your mask, it's also masks of other people, then you move into the Chamber of Power. This is you stepping into your power. This is you stepping into what it is you do. This is you being fully aligned in your purpose and in what it is you're doing. And here's the really interesting card, the seen and the unseen. The seen is the part that came out, right? There's a lot of people that focus too much on the material, okay? There's a lot of people that are focusing in this realm. You don't operate here though. This collective, you operate here. You operate in the unseen. You operate in the spiritual. You operate in the mind. You operate in the psychological. You operate in the energetic. And this energy here, right? It's not always perceptible to people who are stuck here, right? And the energies that you've been dealing with, the people you've been dealing with, they're only here. They don't believe in this. They don't follow this. They don't because of whatever, right? Because of doctrine, because of religious beliefs, because of trauma, because of hurt that they've had in the past, because of dysfunctional relationships, whatever the reason, they're not here. They haven't done the work, and they're not in the unseen area. They're only focusing here on what they think they see. And remember, the perception is very much dependent on what it is that you project into it. Okay. You can have 3 people watch the exact same movie and they will all perceive a different plot line and a different sort of character development and a different story ending as a result of their own personal experiences, healing or lack thereof. And this is the thing, is there's people in your life that you're paying way too much attention to that are only focused on what they are seeing physically, right? They're only seeing the bare minimum. They're not seeing everything that's happening up here. They're only seeing the bare minimum. And so this collective needs to really work on and you're not even going to really need to work on it. This is like, I keep saying you need to work on this. It's not something you need to work on. It's going to be a natural progression over the next 3 months that this is just going to happen, where all of a sudden you're going to kind of come to this realization of you're stepping into your power and you're like, why do I even give a fuck what is happening here about this person? No, they don't like me. Yeah, they're jealous of me. But this collective is also going to be, you know what? I just realized actually at the start of this reading, I said Gemini. And I thought it meant Gemini this sign, but Gemini is also this duality, right? It's 2 different feelings. It's the sense of dealing with like 2 different people, right? And that's kind of the feeling coming through here with this person, this energy here, is it's almost like you're dealing with 2 different people. Like it's almost like you're dealing with 2 different types of energies where the person is saying one thing to your face, but they're saying something different behind your back. And the thing they're saying to your face, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can work with that. And then they turn around and they're behind your back and all of a sudden they're saying pretty much the exact opposite. To your face, they're like, oh, I understand, and this makes sense. And to your back, they're like, this person's a liar, they're a cheat, they don't do anything, they're lazy. And there's this conflict, and energetically, you're picking that up. And this person doesn't understand that because they're focused, again, here in the C, in the 3D, and you don't operate here. You perceive up here in the unseen, in the 4D. And so when they're there, they're really going back and forth. This person might be a Gemini, or the Gemini energy, when it's unhealed, can come through in other signs as well, of this like duality, this flipping back and forth, this 2-faced, right? Masks, 2 faces here, right? You've got the one that's your true, and then you've got the one that you put on when you interact with people. And the people that you're dealing with in this collective are wearing 2 faces. Right? They're really 2-faced. They have this duality, this 2-faced, these 2 different perceptions that they're giving to people. So even if you know the truth, this collective, you know the truth about this person. Even if you know the truth, even if you're aware, even if you're, whoa, sorry, I just hit the camera. Even if you know the truth, even if you're aware, even if you're very intuitive and perceptive, which I do feel this collective is very intuitive and perceptive, and you read into the energy far more than you read into what people are actually saying. and you've tried to explain to other people what these people are like, and it hasn't worked. And you're like, it's not working though. These people don't get it. It's not your job to wake up other people. It's your job to just wake yourself. There's going to be people in this person's life, in this person or people's lives, that they're never going to see the two-facedness. They're never going to see the backstabbing. They're never going to see this manipulative chess game that they try to play where they're changing the rules and they're just mucking about. They're never going to see that. Okay? And that's their choice. Whether it's because of relationships they have, whether it's because of what they perceive, whatever, that's going to be their choice. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you need to engage in that. It doesn't mean that you need to follow that. It doesn't mean that you need to be a part of that. I'm going to leave that there. I think the brunt of that message was in like the second half of this video. The first, it was like very muddled, and I think that's your mindset right now. Your mind state is a little bit more muddled. But I think it's going to change. It's definitely going to change. When you realize your power in this collective, I'm seeing springtime, things are going to do a complete flip. Things are going to completely flip for this collective. All the way around on so many fronts. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. So that's the end of that. They have nothing further to say, and I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye.